Is it basically dimensional analysis? I'm taking Kim right now. Yeah, Lolita. Lolita. It sure is. That's what I like to use. Well, we can do ratio in desired over half if somebody asks for it, but I usually very heavily, really push dimensional analysis. Thank you for sharing, Britt Brat. Britt Brat, how you doing? Let's see. Well, I'll be staying into this. Okay, cool. Are you doing your prereqs for nursing, or are you going into another health professional field? Thank you for sharing the live, Miss Casey. Thank y'all. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Want to do dentistry? Okay, that's awesome. That is awesome. Hey, my instructor only teaches ratio and proportions. Aboo. I mean, that was my favorite. When I was in school, I like math stuff and ratio and proportion. math. Let's see. Kevin, pin yourself. You are a moderator. You can pin yourself. Please do that. Thank you. And if anybody is here who needs an awesome breakdown, some mighty words of God and encouragement, y'all go and follow Nurse Kevin and Nurse Glamber. They've had bukus of workshops breaking down strategies, showing you how to answer these questions, going over questions. They go on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and they come on and they go over questions. Like, you have a treasure trove of mentors on here, so y'all go follow them. Yeah. We here tonight. Hey, I'm in nursing school and I'm having a hard time with dosage. Okay, Tina, let's break it down. Danny Bobani, thank you for 20 roses. Oh my gosh, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, y'all like Mr. Kevon. Cutting up Kevin. But I learned better the way that you teach it. Yeah, I get it, because if you're not really math literate, sometimes doing desire over half or ratio can be very, hard. But we gonna solve some puzzles tonight. And welcome to Work It Out Wednesday. I am Nurse C, a blessed RN. Y'all come on here, double tap and say who you are, where you are from, and what type of program you are in. RN, LPN, dentistry, pre-med, optometry, BSN, accelerated, bridge. I do have heparin tonight, anonymous 1126. I got 2 or 3 heparin problems. I sure do. Ashley, your dosage test is next Thursday. Okay, we gonna be ready. Right? We're doing a live 3-day NCLEX review coming up September 6th through the 8th. Live 3-day. And don't you have like study guides and some other stuff with it? And besides just the review, Kevin? I need help with Reconstitution. I have Reconstitution tonight. I do. I've got that. Is it difficult? It's difficult trying to wean her out and do it your way. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Oh. Well, choose one way and stick with it. That's what I'm going to say, Yeah. And everybody who is in, I am Nurse C, a blessed RN. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you are a repeat puzzle solver, hey. I hope everybody has had a good first week of school. I can't see. And I bet you we are ready to study. Oh, thank you. That was so sweet, Mimi Panini. Thank you so much. You sent the little love. That was so cute. And it was pink and puffy. Oh my gosh. Okay, we got some RN associate programs. I passed. Oh shoot. Hey, that's awesome. And you were worried. I wasn't worried about you. You've been here for a while. Come on, I'm gonna give you another round of applause. Hey y'all, good evening. And was no, I'm so excited. Congratulations. Now you can stop worrying. And you can, no, you can worry about something else, not dosage. Is there such thing as not worrying when you're in nursing school? Welcome to Work It Out Wednesday. I help students who are a little bit shaky. We're not gonna say scared. We're not gonna say afraid or fear, because that has no place here. That has no place. Oh my gosh, thank you. That is so cute. Where are they coming up with all this little dancing and illustrated stuff? I appreciate it. What's the subject tonight? Ty J Good says on YouTube, because we are on YouTube. It is streaming live. I've got some metric conversions. We always start off with a little bit, to get us warmed up. I have some IVs. I got IV completion time. I have heparin and bolus. I have micrograms per kilogram per minute. I've got some reconstitution. So I have a little bit of everything. If y'all are ready, I'm ready, and let's get it. Thank you all. I appreciate the gifts. They are not required, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You're welcome. My husband is crazy. Oh, he did that. Tell him I said thank you. How did you pass the first semester of dosage calculations, and what helped you? I was a pharmacy technician. And I liked math. So I had some experience. So I was that go-to in class. But yes, I did not use dimensional analysis when I was in school, because like I said, I had a strong footing in math, and I understood and I liked it. Like, I like doing it, just but if that is not you, then we are here tonight to do dimensional analysis. I will show you how to do a desired over half. I will show you how to do a ratio if you ask me in the comments. But for the main part, I try to show you dimensional analysis, because you can solve from what we're about to start with, which is conversions, which I kind of deem as the easier problems, all the way to the hard stuff, okay? And you do it the same way. So when I say that we're doing puzzle pieces, right? We're going to find our goal. That's the first thing that we look for after we see the problem. And then we get our puzzle pieces, the information that will piece together to cancel out our units so that we can get to our goal, okay? So we'll do it the same way every single time. You passed, Zoe Michaela. You passed your last dosage on and you really helped me. Oh my gosh. Yes. See, that's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. Mary Bray, you love math. I do too. Which one is easier? Is it desired over half? So desired over half. Let me tell you this, okay? Desire over half is a little easy, right? But once it runs out. It runs out. So your easier tablets, and you have this and you have that, it's cool, it's quick, boom. But when you get to some of the harder stuff, like what we'll get into tonight, you're like, well, what is desired? And sometimes you don't have that. So then you have to have a strong footing in math to figure out, okay, what is this dosage? So that's why, I tell people when they come back, they're like, okay, I'm in the critical care drips now, and desired over half ain't working. Now I'm forced to use dimensional analysis. And so, then it gets real. So yeah. Can you go through the process of dimensional analysis, like how to pick out information? Yes. Okay, so boom. 120 milliliters equals how many teaspoons? Okay, so what is our goal? What is this asking us to find? It's asking us to find teaspoons. Okay, so dimensional analysis works with conversions. It works with relationships, things that equal to each other. Okay, so just like a day equals 24 hours, 1 hour equals 60 minutes, 1 minute equals 60 seconds, stuff like that. So 1 teaspoon equals how many milliliters? Does anybody know how many milliliters equals 1 teaspoon? And I miss some of this stuff. I missed one question in my first semester dosage exam today. Oh, shucks. Go ahead, EMT rescue. Rescue me. Go ahead. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, y'all. So if I don't, okay, see it. Please forgive me. Right. So 5 milliliters is 1 teaspoon. So I'm going to write all my puzzle pieces, what I'm going to need to the side. So I know that 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters. So how do I know what to start with? What goes on the top? How you set it up? We're going to start with what we're looking for. So we are looking for teaspoons, okay? I'm going to always start with what I'm looking for, because if I start with it, I don't have to go and find it. It's going to be that first thing, and it's going to be on the top, okay? So I know that 1 teaspoon is 5 milliliters. So now I have milliliters at the bottom. I need milliliters at the top, because everything has to go except for our goal. That's why we got the goal, because that's what we're trying to get to, right? So I'll use my milliliters from my problem. 120 milliliters. I'm going to put it over 1 because it's not in a relation to anything. It's just by itself, okay? So milliliters crosses out, and now I'm left with teaspoons. So that's how we set that up. So now you divide the top by the bottom, because 1 times 120 is 120. 5 times 1 is 5. So 120 divided by 5 is going to be 24 teaspoons. And we're going to make sure after we do the number, we always write our units of measure, okay? So a couple of rules in dimensional analysis. You write your units by your numbers. The units is where the juice is where the sauce is. How do you know what to put on the top and on the bottom if you don't write it out by your numbers, okay? I'm going to start with what I'm looking for. If I start with what I'm looking for, I don't have to go and find it, okay? Everything that's on the top and bottom must cross out except for your goal. And they must be the same. You can't put a microgram on top of a milligram and expect for it to cancel out, can you? No, because they're separated by a factor of 1,000. Because 1 milligram is 1,000 little microgram pieces, right? So that doesn't cancel out. You have to have milligrams on the top and milligrams on the bottom. And if you don't know what the unit of measure is, so say like a milli equivalent, because that trips up a lot of people. If it's on the top, it's on the bottom, it crosses out. It could be something totally crazy. If it's on the top and it's on the bottom and it's in a relation, it crosses out, then you're good, okay? And what else? You can only use 1 puzzle piece 1 time. So just like in real life, if you're putting a puzzle together, you use that piece 1 time. You can't use it twice. You can't cut it and separate it. What's together must stay together. And then also you can flip things. So when you pour out puzzle pieces and they fall all over the floor or on the table, then they just don't fall in place. You have to kind of manipulate them and position them to fit. So it's the same thing. A puzzle piece is going to be a puzzle piece if it's flipped this way or this way. It still equals the same. So when you have your information from your problem and you're saying, okay, how do I know where to start with in milliliters on the top, but you got it in milliliters on the bottom, just flip it, because it's the same thing, okay? Boom. So we always start with what they ask for. I get confused when they start with the order. I always start with what they ask for, because then everything else lines up on the top and on the bottom. Now, some people like to start with an order. Some people like to start with what they ask for. Some people like to start with whatever they want to start with. But it's easier, and it seems like everything else lines up once you have what you once you start with what you ask for, okay? So this one is 5 feet 6 inches equals how many centimeters? So we know that there is a conversion for inches to centimeters, and there's a conversion from feet to inches. So this whole thing needs to be in inches first, and then we can convert it to centimeters. So we will take our feet and we're going to convert it into inches, okay? Does anybody know how many inches is in 1 foot? I need a drink. 12 inches, right? Okay. So if my goal is inches, I'm going to start with inches, okay? 12 inches is 1 foot. I've got 5 feet, and it's just by itself. So 12 times 5 is going to be 60 inches. And then we're going to add our other inches that we already have to it. So 66 inches total. And now we can find centimeters. So what is it? 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. Okay. So if I'm looking for centimeters, I'm going to start with centimeters. I'll do 2.54 centimeters over 1 inch times my new inches, 66 inches. We'll put it over 1 inches, crosses out. I'm left with what I'm looking for. So 2.54 times 66 equals 167.64 centimeters. Did y'all get that? Okay, so let's practice rounding. So I'm gonna move myself. All right, so if we were asked to round to the nearest whole number, what would our answer be? $168. So when we round, we start at the place that we're asked to, right? So everything that is to the left of the decimal is the whole number. We're going to go 1 decimal place to the right. Boom. And so if that number is 4 or below, it's a no-go. It stays the same and everything else falls off behind it. If it's 5 or more, you raise the score by 1. So this will be 168 centimeters. All right. And this is on YouTube. Hey, YouTubers, thank y'all for tuning in with me. I got my chat fixed so I can see your messages tonight. Yay. So once we get done studying, you can look at the replay to go over all of the questions that we are doing tonight. Okay. Now, I've got about 15 questions, so I'm going to need about 15K likes. And I'm only at 1.4. Big sad, big sad. All right, so this is drug P, 500,000 units IM once. Available is a 10 milliliter vial of drug P that has a concentration of 100,000 units per 2 mLs. How many milliliters will the nurse administer? All right, so we read our problem. First thing is first, what are we looking for? What is this asking me to find? It's asking me to find milliliters, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so what are my puzzle pieces? All right, so let's look at this. Our ordered amount is 500,000 units. Okay, and then it says that we have available a 10 milliliter vial with a concentration of 100,000 units per 2 ml. What part of that is going to be fluff? And what I mean by fluff is extra information that is often a distractor and not useful in finding the answer. Raven, take that question mark off and put an exclamation point, because exactly, you got it right. So that 10 milliliter vial does not matter. What we want to do is concentrate on the concentration. Okay, and that's even with we got some reconstitution problems tonight. That's the secret. That's the sauce. Concentrate on the concentration. All right, so I'm gonna write my puzzle pieces, and it's okay for y'all to do this part too, right? Write your puzzle pieces, because sometimes when they get long and they have all these words and all these numbers in there, it can be intimidating and you can get lost in the sauce, right? And you trying to go back and forth and trying to set up dimensional analysis, and it just becomes frustrating, right? Write what you got to decide, cross it out as you go. Concentrate on the concentration. Exactly. You're welcome. All right. So boom, we are looking for milliliters. So what am I going to do? I'm going to look for the puzzle piece that has the milliliters in it. And that is this right here. And then I'm going to flip it. So I want my milliliters on the top, and I want it first because that's what I'm looking for. 100,000 units is on the bottom. So now I have units on the bottom. I need units on the top. So I have this puzzle piece right here, and it's 500,000 units. And it's not in a relationship to anything else. It's just by itself. So boom, it's single. It's gonna go over 1. Now my units cross out on the top, my units cross out on the bottom, and we'll do 2 times 500,000. Make sure you enter all of your zeros. Don't leave them out, and that's going to be 10 milliliters, okay? And so I want to show you earlier on in the live how I enter my numbers into the calculator. I call it the calculator trick. So original, right? So innovative. So such a an innovative name for it, the calculator trick. No, okay, but seriously, if the more steps that you take, the more mistakes you're likely to make. And this had a lot of zeros in it, didn't it, right? So what if you wrote down all of your zeros, and then you wrote down the bottom part, and then you left one out in the calculator? Or when we get to weight-based ones, and it gets like into the millions, and you've got a lot of numbers that pop up on the top, then you have to divide the top by the bottom. Keep it all in the calculator. That's one less step that you have to take. More steps you take, the more mistakes you can make. So what we'll do is we'll do all of our numbers on the top, and you'll enter in those numbers, and you press multiply. And then once you get to the end, you hit divide. Then you enter all of your numbers at the bottom, and you hit divide in between those. And once you're done, you're complete, you hit the equal sign 1 time, and that's what's going to give you your answer. The more steps you take, the more risk for mistakes. Exactly, Classy Marie. Exactly. We are going over dosage calculations for the health professions, nursing students, pre-med, pharmacy, optometry, dental, because we got a future dentist in here tonight, y'all. Hey, boom, boom, boom. Where are y'all tuning in from? I would love to know. If you probably haven't noticed, you picked up my little country twang. I'm from Alabama, and I come on at 8 o'clock Central Time on Wednesday nights, and 7:30 p.m. Central Time on Sunday nights. Okay, you from Alabama? What part you from? New York, New Mexico, Buffalo, okay, Texas, Louisiana, Florida. Okay, we got folks from everywhere. Look at all these nurses. Nurses, come on. Sydney, be neighbors. Virginia, ATL, Austin. Okay, Galen, Arkansas, California, cool. Ohio, Detroit. It's so cold in D. Has it started getting cold yet? LA, Illinois, cool. Well, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate you telling your cohort about me, your professors about me, everybody. And I thank you for the follows, the likes, and the shares. So back to the issue at hand. So this is the pediatric 24-hour fluid maintenance. I realized that I did not have all of my study sheets uploaded, and I don't know what happened. So I did put this on the resources tab on my website. So I have free resources that are available for download, and you can print them out and all of that jazz. So these are your formulas for your fluid maintenance. So some things you can't get around having a formula for. Fluid maintenance is that, right? So if you have a patient that weighs 10 kgs or less, they're going to get 100 milliliters per kilogram, okay? If they weigh 11 to 20 kilograms, they get 1,000 milliliters plus 50 milliliters per kilogram for every kilogram that is over those 10, because those 10 kilograms are accounted for in that 1,000 milliliter, right? And then if you have a patient that weighs more than 21 kilograms, they're going to get 1,500 milliliters plus 20 milliliters per kilogram for every kilogram that is over 20. Where can I find your website? Oh, what I'm looking for. That's it. So I do have tutoring as well. So if you try to book, you won't be able to because I don't have my books open. But you can send me a message and I will get with you with the time. So this is the website, and you just put in your email address and you get the resources. And I have been trying to upload and revamp and all of that jazz. So as soon as I put it up there, you should have access to it too. All right. Started my first nursing semester in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited. So excited. Yeah, New York is 63 degrees now. Good gosh. I don't want to go to New York, but I don't think I can do it in the cold and the snow. Right? No. Could not. Could not. I always wanted to go like during Christmas time too because what is it? Home Alone? I love that movie. That is my favorite movie. If it's on TV, I'm watching it along with Forrest Gump. I know. Calculate the daily fluid maintenance volume for a patient who weighs 18.6 kilograms. Let's see. I see you, Miss Charnette. You from Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio. All right. So let's see. We need to use what formula? We have a patient that is 10 to 20 kgs, right? So they are going to get 1,000. We need to use what formula? Right? So they are going to get 1,000 in. I saw it blink. I knew it was going to happen. We here? Y'all here? You said yes, visit around Christmas. They do not play. Nope. Can't do it. We have our first dosage exam Tuesday. Everybody's still here. We had a little glitch. I'm trying to make sure we good. I know this page has nothing to do with anatomy, but can someone give them tips on how to study? Help them out. Give them the tips and tricks. Can you explain how you got there again? Yes, Tiffany. So there are formulas. So since the patient weighs 18 something kilograms, I'm using that one in the middle. So they get 1,000 milliliters plus 50 milliliters per kilogram for every kilogram that's over 10 kgs. Okay. So I'll take my 10 because this right here, because this isn't the first formula. In the first formula, they got 10 milliliters per kilogram. So isn't 100 times 10 1,000? So basically, this is accounted for the 10 kilograms. That's what they already have. So you'll subtract your 10 and you'll get 8.6 kgs. And this is what we're going to use now for this part. So we're looking for the rest of the milliliters. That's our goal, milliliters. So ml over kg times your 8.6 kgs. Put it over 1. Kilograms crosses out and you're left with your milliliters. This is so helpful. Yay! Thank you. And we just getting started. What am I doing? 50 times 8.6. And that's going to be 430. So then you'll take your 1,000 that you already have and add it to what you just found. So they'll get this many milliliters in a day. Okay. Ninja Nerd on YouTube help. Your videos and lives help me pass my, oh shoot, Miss Lady 808. Go ahead. Hi, I just joined. Where'd you get the 10 kgs from? Okay, so I'm gonna show you again. Hold on. So you've got formulas for fluid maintenance. So it depends on how much the patient weighs. The little babies, the little children weigh, right? So if they weigh 10 kgs or less, they get 100 milliliters per kilogram. Okay? So since our patient is 18, I forgot. I can't get this weight or not. Is it kg for each formula? 10 kgs? No. So if our patient, our patient was 18 because they weighed more than 11 but less than 20. So that's when they're going to get that middle part. So you see that 1,000 milliliters, right? Because your first formula was 100 milliliters per kilogram. So since they were more than 11, that 1,000 is covering that first 10 kgs of fluid. So then you subtract your 10 from whatever your weight is, and that remaining weight is going to be the 50 milliliters per kilogram part, and you add it together. So just it makes sense when somebody can actually like sit down and tell it to you versus you just seeing like a formula and you're just trying to figure it out. Yeah. So then if a patient weighed, let's say 23 kilograms, right? And let me move this out the way because it's bothering me. If they weighed 23 kilograms, it would be that last one, right? I'm sorry, my camera's turned. I don't know. The last one at the bottom, right? So then they'll get 1,500 milliliters automatically. And since they were 23 kilograms, you'll take the 23 minus your 20. And you have that 3 milliliters times your 20, which will be 60. So then you add your 1,500 milliliters to your 60 milliliters and you get 1,560. Okay. So yeah, we'll do some more of these on the upcoming sessions because I've seen more people ask about them. So I be trying to be all inclusive to get everything. So if you want to see a certain type of problem worked out in one of my sessions, please let me know in the chat. Send me a DM. My email address is on my website. My work phone number is on my website. Don't text me late at night. All right, so IV completion time. The nurse observes that there are 400 milliliters left in the bag, and it's infusing at 50 drops per minute. And they got a drop factor of 20 drops per milliliter. How much time will it take to complete the infusion? Boom. So this one is asking us how long. Neat. I'm gonna need you to have a session with me. He's like, I have a few. Oh my goodness. All right. So this one is having to find how long will it take for this to go into our patient, right? Because you can't let the bag run out. You got to keep the bag with some juice in it. It can't run dry, right? So our goal is to find time. So our unit of measure is going to be the hour. And why the hour, you ask? Well, let me tell you. If you find hours, you solve for hours, you'll get a whole number and then you'll get a number behind the decimal. The whole number will be the number of hours. The number behind the decimal will be the minutes. And the way that you find the minutes will be to take the numbers behind the decimal and multiply it by 60 because there's 60 minutes in an hour. So let's do this one and we'll do it with dimensional analysis the same way. So that's why I like it because we're doing the same thing. We've done fluid maintenance, we've done metric conversions, and we've done an IM parenteral sort of deal, right? The same exact way. That's why I like dimensional analysis now. But if we want to be honest, I hated it in school. I didn't understand it, didn't know what to do, didn't know how to do it. If that is your testimony, put a 1 in the chat. If it was just confusing and it doesn't make sense. All right, so what are our puzzle pieces? We've got 400 milliliters left. Okay, It's going at a rate of 50 drops per minute. We've got 20 drops per milliliter. And that's all the relationships or things that we have together, right? 1, oh my God. Okay, well, just give me a chance. Give me a little bit. Work with me, okay? Still trying to get it by Monday. All right. It still is. Okay. I'm mad I missed fluid maintenance. I just closed my book because I was getting frustrated. Well, Adriana, if you go to my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN, you can view this and other sessions that I've done. And you can slow them down, speed them up, however. Last Sunday, I did a pediatric session with fluid maintenance, BSA, safe dose range, and weight base. So if you need pediatric stuff, go on to my YouTube channel on the playlist, the live playlist, and then it has pediatric focus or something like that to that extent. And I just did it this past Sunday. So there you go. All right. So we're looking for hours, right? Because our puzzle picture that's on the box says that we're needing to find hours. We don't have any puzzle pieces with hours in it, do we? It's just, we have one with minutes, but we don't need minutes. We need hours because I'm going to start with what I'm looking for, okay? I don't have it, but since I have a puzzle piece with minutes in it, I know that I can do a conversion. So I'll say 1 hour is 60 minutes. So then I can use this puzzle piece with my minutes. I'm going to flip it because I need minute at the top to cross out. So minute over 50 drops, minutes cross out. Now I have drops at the bottom. So I use this puzzle piece because drops on the top, drops on the bottom, cross out. And now I'm left with milliliters. So I'll use this puzzle piece, 400 milliliters over 1. And then we are left with just hours, which is what we were looking for. All right, so 20 times 400 divide 60 divide 50 equals 2.6 repeating. All right, hours. So this part is the hour part. This part is the minute part, okay? So we need to know what 0.66 repeating minutes is. So I'll take 0.66. I just use the tenths and the hundredths place and I multiply it by 60. So 0.66 times 60 is 39.6. So that's 40, right? So it takes 2 hours and 40 minutes. I see you, Tamika Henderson, on YouTube. Come on. Exactly. Okay. How y'all feel about it? I don't know what number I'm on, but I only got 7,000 likes. Thank you. I'm going to look, and I got an exam on Monday. Okay, well, we got one more session before your exam because I will be on Sunday night. So maybe I'll do some more fluid maintenance for you. Okay. Desire over half is my favorite, but I know I have to get dimensional. I know it's your favorite because it's easy peasy lemon squeezy until it runs out. What it say? Keep on using me till you use me up. And then it's like, okay, what we do now? Okay. So what if we were given liters only and they asked for milliliters? Convert to milliliters. You will put in a conversion. Your 1 liter equals your 1,000 milliliters. So that's a thing. I don't prematurely convert anything. I take what's given inside the question and I use conversions. The math is going to math at the end because remember what I said, the extra steps that you take, the more mistakes that you can make. So what if you multiply trying to convert something and you're supposed to divide? What if you don't add enough zeros? Like stop manipulating stuff. This is what you have, put it there. Cross out your units. Cross out your units and get to your goal. Okay. What question? We're needing hours, right? Can we start with 400 milliliters or no? Sonya, you can start whatever you want with. You can start with whatever you want. But I always start with what I'm looking for because I know everything else is going to have to go away. I'm just going to give them IV potassium. As long as you don't push it, we good. Like what? This might be a crazy question, but how did we know we were looking for hour as the goal? No question is crazy. I'd rather you ask it here and get it wrong here than get it right on this test, right? So it says how much time. So our unit of measure is going to be time. Can you repeat one more time the last step when you multiply and divide? So yeah, how I do it, I keep it in the calculator. I just put in all my numbers across the top and hit multiply in between. Then once I get to that 400, I hit divide. 60 divide 50 equals, because I don't put the ones in, they don't make a difference. If you want to put them in, fine. But me, I'm not going to put the ones in because they don't make a difference. And that's how I get it. Boom. What's DWL? Okay, awesome. You're welcome. Why was I about to just say that? Don't push it. Yeah, don't push that IV potassium. It makes sense. Can you explain the decimal to minute conversion? Yes. So we've got all of those sixes behind that decimal, right? So, you know, it just keeps on. So I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to take these first two numbers and I'm going to multiply it by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So just like if you had 0.5, you know, that's half an hour, right? So you know that half an hour is 30 minutes. But what is 0.66? I don't know. So I'm going to multiply by 60 and get my minutes. How do you know you're looking for hours instead of minutes? Because when you look for hours, you're going to get a whole number and you're going to get a decimal. If you have minutes, your decimal is going to be those numbers. I mean, your decimal is going to be the minutes. So the whole number will be the amount of hours. Your decimal is going to be your minutes. Was I supposed to start studying before I started school? Venus, it wouldn't have hurt, but I don't think it's a written rule. Oh, look at that. Thank you. So I just started school and I'm confused because we were given formulas to solve, but can we just use DA? You can. You sure can. You can use dimensional analysis for almost everything. Can you check your inbox? I sent you a question. Sure. I'm sorry. I'm still lost in school for nursing. We're doing dosage next term, so I need this. Okay, well, just stay on. Okay, Miss Jasmine, I sent you okay, something to my inbox. It was too long to post and you couldn't do it. Okay, all right. I'll check it. I should check it. Okay. So IV completion time. Here's another one. So that one was with a gravity set, right? This one is with the IV pump because you can give an IV two ways. You can give it in a pump or you can give it via gravity. So when you have that drop factor, that drops per milliliter, that's a drop factor. So this one is going to be in milliliter per hour. So a patient is receiving an IV infusion of 350 mLs of D5W at 75 milliliters per hour. The infusion was started at 8:30. What time will the infusion be completed? So we're going to be looking for, the time that it takes. And then we need the actual time on the clock to see what time it's going to be done. So once again, our goal is going to be hours because we are looking for time. You prepping for the HESI right now? That's what's up. All right, so we have 350 ml and it's going at 75 ml per hour. And so my puzzle piece that I have is this with my hour on the top. So, hour on the bottom, so I'll put it on the top because that's what I'm looking for. And then I have my 350 milliliters over 1. My milliliters crossed out, and now I'm left with what I'm looking for. That's it. Somebody asked me about a formula. I'm not sure if it's a formula for it or not. The only formulas I know for your IV is either milliliter or the milliliter over time, which is volume over time, or milliliter over hour, which is volume over time. Or if you need your drops per minute, it's volume over time in minutes times your drop factor. So, yeah. So I got 4.6 repeating. So of course we got our 0.66 and we'll multiply it by 60. And what was it, 40 minutes? So it's another 4 hours and 40 minutes, right? So now we have to add our numbers together, our times. So if we start at 0830, okay, and we need to add 4 hours and 40 minutes, this side will be the minute side and this side will be the hour side. So if you look at it, you're like, okay, I'm gonna add 70. But if you don't know that like 60 is supposed to be the cutoff and you're supposed to carry the 1, then you're like, what in the heck, right? So this is what I do when my minutes is like 30 minutes and over and I've got to add 40 minutes, 50 minutes or whatever to it, okay? I'm going to, and I just did a video on this too. I uploaded it to YouTube on how to convert to military time into like the regular time, the chronological time, and how to add together and do these type of problems. You're welcome. All right. So yeah, y'all go check that out. Like it, share it, tell somebody about it. All right. So we're starting at this time, right? So this, if I take 30 minutes and add it to it, that's going to be 9 o'clock. So I'm going to take away 30 minutes from over here. So I'll still have 4 hours and 10 minutes left. Now I can add my 4 hours and 10 minutes. And so that's 10. And then that's going to be 13:10. So my end time is 13:10. Does that make sense? If it makes sense, put a 1 in the chat. If it don't, put a 0. Am I set? Oh, wait a minute. You went too fast. Wow, buddy. Because I was supposed to be looking. Could you do some problems that are similar to the HESI? What's on the HESI? And I do have heparin. I have heparin. Just hold on. Hold your horses. I'm setting up. I am set up the wrong. How do you know what to set it up as? So Perkins, lovely Renee, I start with what I'm looking for. Okay, my goal is a goal. I want to get just hour and only hour. So everything else has to cross out. The only way that I can get everything else to cross out is that they have to have matching units on the top and on the bottom. So like I said, it was like we're solving a puzzle, right? So if I'm looking for hours, I'm going to put this piece first and I'm going to put hour at the top. So I flipped it. So then I have milliliter at the bottom. So then I use this puzzle piece and I put it at the top so that this crosses out. What's on the top has to cross out with what's on the bottom. And then the only thing that we had as far as units left was your hours. So once your units cross out, you're left with just the numbers. And then the math is going to math. Okay? We going to keep on doing this all night. Well, not all night, but for the rest of the night. Okay, I see mostly 1s, and now I got a little bit of 0s. On the 0 part, what do you not get? How did you get the 9 o'clock? Oh, okay. So because if you add 40 minutes to 30 minutes, that's going to be 70, right? And if you don't carry the 1 over because it's more than 60, then you just get all lost in the sauce. So basically what I did was I just took 30 minutes from here. So I subtracted my 30 minutes and then I added it over to 8:30. So then I had 9 o'clock. So then I was just left with 4 hours and 10 minutes. Okay. So when I had my 4 hours and 10 minutes, I could add that to 0900 and that's how I got the end time. You multiplied 350 and 75? No, I divided it. So what's on the top has to be divided by what's on the bottom. This is the first time I've understood dimensional fully. Yay! You're welcome. I've been in nursing school for only 3 days. I need a new problem. I just came in. Okay, we'll stay for a little bit. And make sure y'all smash that follow button. Share this. Go to the YouTube, follow it too. Because if you don't see me on Wednesday and Sunday and you need something in between time, I've got problems broken down individually. Okay? So you got some stuff, you got some free stuff, some resources on my website. There are resources. I got a guide that'll tell you how to do dimensional for each type of problem. And what do you start with? How do you come up with the next part? What do you cross out? Take advantage of it. I don't understand the 0.66 times 60. Okay, so decimals work off of systems of 100, right? So we know that the whole number of a decimal is 100, right? Right? So if you have 0.5, that's 50 out of 100. So that's going to be half, right? So if you have half of 60, that's 30 minutes. So you know that if you had 2.5 hours, then that's 2 hours and 30 minutes. So since we have a decimal that's 0.66, I don't automatically know what 0.66 is out of 60, because 60 minutes is the totality of an hour, right? So that's why we'll take everything that's behind the decimal and multiply it by 60, because there are 60 minutes in an hour. And that's how you get your minutes. So the whole number right here is going to be your hour part. This part is going to be your minute part, but you got to multiply the numbers. So the 0 point whatever numbers to get by 60 to get your minutes. So it would be 1:10 p.m. in regular time. Yes. Humlin R20. Oh, Humulin. Okay, R200 units and 100 mLs of normal saline to infuse at 1. Oh, it went too fast. Wait a minute. At 4 units an hour. What am I looking for? I don't know. What is it asking you to look for? Is it asking for milliliter per hour? Neat. Can't you just put 110? If it asks you to put it in military time, which is required in nursing for all of like your medication administration and your charting and everything, they use military time. So if they ask for military time, you need to put it in military time. If they want it for like the chronos time, then you could put it in the chrono time. What is the best way to remember metric conversions for dosage? Well, I have a nifty little video for milliliters and teaspoons and tablespoons and ounces that's pinned to my page. And then think about let's see, for let's talk about it. So if we have, okay, let's talk about grams. So that's going to be our base unit, right? So milligram, microgram, and then we have the big old kilogram. So all of these are separated by a factor of 1,000. So if I have 1 gram and I go to milligram, it takes 1,000 milligrams to make up 1 gram. So then if I have 1 milligram and I go to microgram, it's going to take 1,000 micrograms to make 1 milligram. And then if I have 1 kg, which is big, right? And I go to grams, it takes 1,000 grams to make 1 big old kilogram. So it takes a whole bunch of little crumbs together to make 1 bigger unit. Does that help? Hey, I don't understand military time. I just made a video, Gracie. I just posted it this evening. Check it out. And I'll go over this, go over it in just a second too. I'm in my 4th semester of nursing school and those dosage exams stress me out. Okay. You're welcome, Slay Q. Where is the 4 hours and 40 minutes from? Brianna Berry. That's how much, that's how long it takes for it to be done. And then we just added it to 8:30 in the morning to figure out our end time. Do you do dilution and reconstitution? I do have some dilution. Do I have dilution? I don't have like the dilution ones, but I'll add some in for Sunday if you would like. But I do have reconstitution. So there's only 60 minutes. So 66 is above a minute. So you have to do 0.66 times 60 minutes. Exactly. You got it. So to be safe, you always multiply by 60. Because there's 60 minutes in an hour. Can I do another one? I don't have none. This was the second one. We got stuck on this one. About to make med math my bestie. Well, at least it was that word and not the other B word. Okay, all right. Okay. I printed a metric table and had a copy in my car and on the side of my bed for a year. Okay, Queen Alicia, you better. That's dedication. So what did we start with? We started with hours because that's what we were looking for. Hi, new here. Thank you for sharing with us. You're welcome. Well, thank you for coming to study. Yes, please. I will come on Sunday. Well, I'll see you then. All right. Boom. So let's go to the next one. Alrighty, these are my favorite, weight-based, okay? So weight-based is going to use the patient's weight to find the required dose, okay? So drug B, 15 milligrams per kilogram per day, is given in divided doses every 6 hours. How? Okay, and it's been ordered for a patient that weighs 55 kilograms. Drug B is available in the concentration of 100 milligrams per 2 milliliters. How many milliliters per day will be administered? So, y'all, in my deepest, thickest Alabama accent, y'all, what is the goal? What is this asking us to find? What's this asking us to find? Milliliter per day. We need all of that. Okay, so our goal when you're looking for this, we want milliliter on the top and day on the bottom. Be sure to include per day, because what if they ask for milliliter per hour, milliliter per dose, milliliter per minute? You give it everything that it's asking for, nothing more, nothing less. Okay, so now I like to say PPP. Patient's weight, the prescription, and your product. That's what we're looking for in weight-based problems. That's how we get our puzzle pieces. So my patient weighs 55 kgs. My prescription is 15 milligrams per kilogram per day. All right. So I want to point out that the frequency is part of an order, right? So this right here is the frequency. A frequency is how often you give one dose in a day. Okay? So the order has already told us that this is going to be the total amount per day. So we don't need to use the frequency. Okay? Yes, I'll be posting this on YouTube. It's streaming there now. And once we get done studying, I sure will release it. All right. And then our last P is the concentration of the medicine, our product, right? So 100 milligrams per 2 milliliter. All right. So here's where we get to solving these puzzle pieces, because we started off a little bit easy. Now we're getting harder stuff, right? So we're looking for milliliters on the top, and we want to have day on the bottom. So I need my puzzle piece that has the milliliter in it. That's this one, right? So I'm going to be flipping it to put my milliliter at the top, because that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, see, my head is a scary place. It's like a little jukebox, and I don't know where that came from. But anywho, so now we've used this puzzle piece. Okay, it's gone. So we need milligrams at the top, because we got milligrams at the bottom. So I'll use this puzzle piece. So it's 15 milligrams per kilogram per day. And remember, what's in relationships stay together, remember? Okay, they're in a three-way. So you keep them all together. 15 milligrams at the top, kgs, and day at the bottom. All right, I've used that. So that puzzle piece is now gone. So my milligrams have crossed out, and you cross your units out as you go along, and you pay attention to your goal too. So I already got my milliliters, and I need my days, right? So boom, I've got my days. But now I've got kilograms. Kilogram is not part of the goal. So guess what? It's got to go, right? I've got a puzzle piece. So 55 kgs over 1. My kgs crossed out. And everything has crossed out except for milliliter at the top and day at the bottom. Do you see what we did here? And now we can do the math. So I'm going to do 2 times 15 times 55 divided by 100. And I got 16.5 milliliters per day. Is it starting to make sense, y'all? Thank you for the gifts. I appreciate it. If I don't see it and I don't say it, please charge it to my head and not my heart. I can't pay attention and do math and see all the stuff that pops up. Yeah, makes sense? All right. Makes dollars make sense. Come on, nurses. Nurses cometh. Dentists come. Whoever else on here, pharmacists, respiratory, come. Come on. Hell no. It ain't making sense. Where did I lose you, Florence? How do we know when to round? It usually asks you. So, okay. If we, and then some people have rounding rules at their school. So like they automatically just indicate and know when to round. But it'll usually ask you the day part. Girl, I just love you. I'm gonna buy you some with my first little check. Okay. All right, Tiffany, I ain't gonna block my blessings. I have not. She said facts. She's saving us. You're welcome. And moving that kg up there. Okay, so let's do it again. All right. So Florence, these are my puzzle pieces. I've emptied them out the box and they are on the floor. I used to love Beauty and the Beast. So this is my Beauty and the Beast picture. And I'm trying to get these puzzle pieces to look like it. Okay. So if I am looking for milliliters at the top and day at the bottom, I need everything to line up so that milliliters is the only unit of measure that's left at the top and day is the only unit of measure that's left at the bottom. So I knew I had my patient's weight, which is 55 kilograms. It's living single. I don't know if you know about living single, but living. Okay. It's single. It's by itself. So boom. Then we had 15 milligrams per kilogram per day. Okay. All of that stays together. That is on one puzzle piece. Okay. And then we had the medicine. The concentration of it is 100 milligrams per 2 milliliters. Okay. So if I'm looking for milliliter, I want to start with every single, I want to do these problems the same way every single time. Okay. So I'm going to start with what it is that I'm looking for. And that is milliliters. That's going to be the first thing I put. And I want it to be on the top because milliliters is where? On the top. So I'm going to get this puzzle piece right here that don't fell out the box and it's not sitting right. I need to flip it because the milliliters have to go on the top so I can flip it. It's the same thing. 100 milligrams is going to equal 2 milliliters no matter which position it's in, right? So 2 ml over 100 milligram. So now I've got milliliter at the top. So that's one part of the goal. Now I got milligrams at the bottom. That's not part of my Beauty and the Beast picture, right? So it's got to go. So I'll use this. So 15 milligrams per kilogram per day. Now milligrams has crossed out. And what am I left with now? I have day on the bottom, which is part of my goal, but kilograms is not. So I need to get rid of it because it's on the bottom. I need kilograms to go on the top so that it cancels out. So 55 kilograms over 1. And then we'll do our canceling out, which is the kilograms. So everything is now disappeared except for a tale as old as time. Does it make sense? Let's see. We had rounding rules in PN. RN told us on the exam. Okay. But do we always have to round for milliliter per hour or when it's drops per minute? So when you have your drops per minute, because you can't divide a drop, they want you to round to the whole number because you don't see half of a drop or 0.42 of a drop. You know what I'm saying? But then some people, they don't want you to round. So do whatever who has the power to pass or fail you requires. Okay? I love you, girl. Never stop these. I don't intend on it. Both have rules. Drops is mostly to the no. Okay, y'all better help each other out in these comments. Yes. Okay, how do you plug it into the calculator? Okay, so you do all of your numbers across the top and you hit multiply in between. So 2 times 15 times 55, and then that's the end of that line. So you hit divide, and so then you press 100. I don't put in the ones, they don't make a difference. So divide by 100 equals, and then you should get your answer. Very helpful. I'm glad. All right. And these are my favorite. I could do these all the time. I love them. I really do. But do you see how well, thank you. Thank you. God bless you too. All right. So, boom. Here we go with this reconstitution stuff. All right. Hold on. Did I miss something? The 6 hours got dropped. But how did you come up with that? 6 hours. Where did I see 6 hours from? Oh, that was the frequency. So a frequency is how many times you give a dose in a day. This wasn't asking for how many doses we were giving. We were looking for milliliters per day. Our order already had day in it, so I didn't need to touch the frequency. Does that make sense? Got med cows on Tuesday and Friday. You're welcome. My teacher was telling to use desired over half with these kinds of problems, but you doing it smooth. I'm telling you, Lisa, how you doing? I took a test and rounded, got them wrong in maternity. I guess no rounding in maternity. Layla, do whatever it tells you to do. However, or when in doubt, ask. But some people, they don't get answers during the test. I don't know. I've heard horror stories. All right. So this is a reconstitution problem. I don't know what number this is, but I got 12K. So I guess I'm okay. 12K likes. All right. So the secret sauce, right, to this one is to concentrate on the concentration. Does not matter how big the vial is. Does not matter how many grams is in the vial. Does not matter how many milliliters of diluent that you're adding to it. Okay? Because reconstitution simply means you're taking a powder, adding liquid to it, shaking it up, and then giving it to the patient. Right? So we want to know the concentration. Concentrate on the concentration after it has been reconstituted. Okay? So 75 milligrams of drug Z is to be added to 1 liter of lactated Ringer's IV solution to be infused IV PB, not DB, over 2 hours every 8 hours for 3 days. All right. Available is 1,000 milligrams of drug Z in a vial, which, when reconstituted yields a concentration of 400 milligrams per 3 milliliters. How much of drug Z will be added to the IV? All right. So let's see what's going on here. All right. We need 75 milligrams of drug Z to be added to a bag of IV fluid of lactated ringers. Okay. And they want that bag to be infused over 2 hours, every 8 hours for 3 days. Okay. What's available from the pharmacy is a vial that's got 1,000 milligrams in it. But once you reconstitute it, it has 400 milligrams per 3 milliliters. So then we want to know how much of drug Z will you pull from that vial and add to that bag of lactated ringers. So who can tell me what is the fluff in this problem? Because it is fluffed up. And I did it on purpose too. Fluffed it up. 1 liter, okay, of lactated ringers. I don't care about that right now. Okay. So 75 milligrams is how much we want to add. So we're going to keep that. We're going to keep that. That's important. Okay. So this, yep, that's fluff. This is fluff. This is fluff. And this is fluff. And this is the concentration, baby. All right. So 400 milligrams per 3 milliliters. And this is how much. So we are looking for the volume. So we're looking for how many milliliters to add to that bag. So how do we know what the fluff was? We have to look for 75 milligrams. And it's to be added to this IV bag that is to be given boom. It says how much of drug Z will be added to the IV. So that's the question. How much of drug Z are we going to add to the bag? So we are looking for 75 milligrams and it comes as 400 milligrams per 3 milliliters. How many milliliters will that be? Okay. So if I'm looking for milliliters, I'm going to put my milliliters on the top from this puzzle piece, and then I've got milligrams on the bottom. So 75 milligrams, put it over 1, milligrams cross out, and I'm left with my milliliters. Okay, and that's it. What's ordered and what's your concentration? All that other stuff is fluff. So we'll do 3 times 75 divided by 400. My face is itching. Oh my God. Okay. So that's going to be 0.5625. So if this asks us to round to the nearest tenths place, what would our answer be? Somebody say desired over half. Yeah, this would be one that you could use that desired over half. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Hey, Lalo. I go live on Sunday nights at 7:30 and Wednesday nights at 8. And that's Central Time. So, yes, it'll be 0.6 milliliters if we were to round this to the nearest tenths place. Okay? Do you have any type of questions that you have to do with total intake? I do. We'll see how much time we got left. Well, it's 9:20 already. Golly. All right, here's the heparin. I did not know it was that late. Oh, okay. Just joined. Do you have an IV piggyback problem yet? I don't think I did. And welcome. All right, so this is heparin. Your patient has an order to receive a heparin bolus of 4,000 units, followed by IV drip of 14 units per kilogram per hour. Your patient weighs 203 pounds. You have a heparin vial labeled heparin 1,000 units per milliliter. What will you give your patient for the initial bolus? What will you set your IV pump at for a continuous drip if your 1,000 milliliter bag is labeled 40,000 units of heparin? All right, so heparin does not have to be scary, okay? Well, it is scary, but it's not scary because, like, heparin has got to be monitored, right? Because what is the point of heparin? Why are we giving heparin to the patient? Y'all let me know. Yikes, this is the big one. Hold on. It's just a lot of words. That's all. But and it's just 2 points, right? I mean, 2 parts to it. It's okay. It's okay. Prevent blood clots, blood thinner, anticoagulant. Exactly. So you would give this to people who are newly diagnosed with AFib. They don't have an MI. They've got a PE. They got a DVT. All of those instances would be while your patient is receiving heparin therapy, okay? So what type of lab tests do you monitor your patient for while they're on heparin? Does anybody know that? See, y'all are so smart. Y'all know things. You have to give yourself credit. You gotta believe in yourself. You know things. Okay, so you're going to look at your blood studies and you're going to look at your coags. So APTT, right? And then they also have a test called the anti-XA or anti-10A. It's like that's what it looks like. And yeah, I didn't know nothing about that when I graduated. I'm like, where's the APTT? It was like, you got to draw the anti-10A. And I'm like, what the heck is that? So it's another, it's another coag test, okay? And so you monitor them. So in order for this drug to work, it's got to be at a certain level in the blood. So therefore, you're going to give them a bolus. A bolus is a one-time administration of the drug, okay? It's not going to be a continuous drip. You're going to draw up out the vial, the heparin vial that's labeled, and you're going to draw up however much is ordered, which is going to be 4,000 units, and you're going to give it to them in their IV. That's what's going to get them started, right? And then what's going to maintain that level in the blood is your hourly drip that's going, okay? So this part has 2 questions to it. What you're going to give them for that kind of kickstart, which is your bolus, and then what are you going to set the IV pump to keep it at a level that's therapeutic in the blood, okay? So bolus don't have to be a scary word. We just going to give it one time. So what is our bolus information? We know what's ordered is 4,000 units, and then we're going to use our vial for that part. We're going to save our IV bag and fluid for the drip, okay? So I need to know how many milliliters to draw up out this vial to give to the patient. So what's ordered is your 4,000 units, and what you have is 1,000 units of per milliliter, okay? So if I'm looking for milliliter, I'm going to take this, and I totally screwed up my zeros, okay? Milliliter over 1,000 unit, okay, because I needed my milliliters at the top. And then I'll do my 4,000 units right here. It's not with anything, it's just over 1, it's by itself. So 4,000 divided by 1,000 is going to be 4 milliliters. And that's the bolus part. Simple as that. Didn't have to be complicated at all, okay? So now, once we've done the bolus, that's gone. That's gone into the bloodstream. So the rest of that information does not have any bearings on what you're going to set for your IV pump, okay? So that's done. That's done. So remember, you can give a IV 2 ways, right? So when it says IV pump or electronic infusion device, those are kind of key words that tell you, hey, we're looking for milliliter per hour. If you have your drop factor, which is your drops per milliliter, then that's a gravity set. So then you'd be looking for drops per minute. Either way, you're looking for volume over time. Okay, so our patient's weight, because this is the weight-based problem, because you see we got kilograms, right? So our patient weighs 203 pounds. We are ordered 14 units per kilogram per hour. And then it says we have a 1,000 milliliter bag with 40,000 units of heparin floating around in there. Okay, so if we are looking for milliliters per hour, milliliters on the top and hour at the bottom, what puzzle piece are we going to start with? Hey, Be Cool, I see you. How you doing? Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I'm going to start with this. Y'all are picking up what I'm dropping, ain't it? Is it making sense as we keep doing these? So 1,000 milliliters over 40,000 units. So now I've got units at the bottom. I need units at the top, right? This puzzle piece has units in it. So 14 units per kilogram per hour. My units crossed out, and now I've got milliliter at the top and hour at the bottom, but my kilograms has to go. My patient's weight is in pounds, okay? So I need a conversion. So 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. Kgs cross out, and now I've got pounds at the bottom, so I'll put 203 pounds over 1. My pounds crossed out, and everything is gone except for milliliters at the top and pounds at the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to do my calculator trick. 1,000 times 14 times 203 divide 40,000 divide 2.2 equals 32.29. Okay, so if we were to round to the nearest tenths, what would our answer be? I ain't never upset, baby. Can't do no wrong. $1 million baby. Don't at me. Hey, no. All right, 32.3. Exactly. My toddler loves that song. She'll go tell Alexa, play baby. Alexa, play baby. I'm so tired of this song. Alexa, play baby. I'm so tired of this song.